Hey everybody. Hey. Alrighty. Hey y'all. Hey. Welcome to my channel. We've gotten an upgrade. We've gotten a really big upgrade because we're ready to take things to the next level. As I embark on my dental hygiene journey, I wanted to share my steps, my processes, my mindset on dental hygiene, and I wanted to do it in an intimate, informative way. So, without further ado, where's my intro?
JB Morrow, go and get your bag.
Boom, you heard that ding. So number one, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, getting some amazing dental hygiene content, some student content. Today, I want to do a video and kind of dive into the world of dental hygiene and tell you why you should consider becoming a dental hygienist, okay? So let's go ahead and just dive right in. My top 5 reasons why you should consider dental hygiene as your new career. So one is you get an opportunity to make a real difference. Me, myself, I've been in the dental field for 8 years and I'm about to be able to say over 8 years. It's coming, but I've been in the dental field now for 8 years and it has changed me and developed me into a woman that I can stand up and really be proud of. And I love that for me. I love that for you. I love that for us. Okay. But you get an opportunity working in the dental field to make a real difference in the community. I could sit here and tell you stories probably for hours about like what it's been like in the field, meeting people and them having certain situations happen. For example, I once met a realtor who was jogging very early in the morning. She was struck by a vehicle and literally her front teeth were knocked out. I cannot explain to you what it feels like to be a part of helping someone go through something that is so traumatic. By the time everything was done that day, we got her with some teeth, and you can't imagine coming to work and that's what you're being faced with in the morning and being able to help them find a solution that doesn't solve the problem per se, but just being a part of that process, it really gives you just a sense of joy, a sense of being. If you really like making a difference in something, that is going to be that is probably my top reason to get into the dental field, but also getting into dental hygiene. It'll probably be my top reason is to be able to make a difference. Educating your patients, being able to show them before and after treatment photos, it really does change a lot of lives. I remember another patient where they were going through the stage of no longer having their teeth to getting implants to having a fixed smile in essence. So they had implant dentures. It is a tedious process. It is one of I like to call them the Bentley of teeth. It is one of the most rewarding experiences, but you go through a point in their treatment where they probably will hate you because things are uncomfortable. They start to go through a little regret, and you really feel a sense of reward when you help guide them through that process and they come back to you in the end and they're smiling, and most importantly they're eating, they're able to chew their food, they're able to go out, be amongst friends and family and smile. And your teeth have so many purposes besides just looking pretty. They have a lot to do with your confidence and how you feel about yourself. And so making a difference is probably going to be my top reason of getting into dentistry and also getting into dental hygiene as your profession. It's going to be my top reason. The next thing would be a flexible work schedule. Love work balance. Love work life balance. I should put it that way. Everybody loves work-life balance. I feel like the whole purpose of you going through higher education is because you're looking for work-life balance. It's because you know that the more that you educate yourself, then the better job that you get, better paying job, better benefits, better pizza, Papa John's. But it's the better life, the better lifestyle that you have. That's the whole purpose that everyone's doing everything, right? Um, but as a dental hygienist, you get a chance to have more control over your schedule. There are dental hygienists that work part time. There are hygienists that may work, during a certain season and take off during another season. But one of the things that I love is that you have the flexible hours and you have the options to create more of a schedule. So you can temp if you would like. You can work full time in an office. You can split between the two and work part time in the office and temp on your other days. Um, Nowadays it's becoming a lot more popular to do travel hygiene. I really like the idea of travel hygiene because you get an opportunity to kind of break up the monotony. um, Me starting my dental assistant career, I became so good so fast because I would allow myself to travel for the offices when I worked with a corporation. Um, I learned things really fast, so they would put me at a different office and I was fine with it. I would make a little bit more money because I was willing to travel, and it opened up so many doors for me to meet a lot of different people and learn a lot of different ways of doing things. That made me completely have nerves of steel, to where when I would walk into a brand new office, I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly where to go, even without instruction, because it doesn't matter if you're in a dental field or you're in another field. When you go to a place that's not your home, it's not always going to be the welcome crew that's going to come out and give you guidelines and basis on like what you need to do when you walk into an office, or so I began to develop my own, what I like to say, my own little care plan of what I need to do to go into the office to give my very best product and service to that patient first and then the doctor next. So dental hygiene does afford you the ability to have a lot of flexibility because you're you're in your room, you're able to kind of function because it's solely on you and you don't have so many moving pieces to your puzzle. So being able to have work-life balance, flexibility of hours, and a lot of career opportunities as far as being able to travel and maneuver is definitely a bonus. So my next plus for number three is going to be competitive salary and job stability, baby. Okay. The dental field is booming. It is booming. All right. And with that, that means there's a demand for qualified dental hygienists and dental professionals as a whole. The profession offers not only competitive salary, but it also offers a lot of job stability. Now, one thing I love is like, what is it? Supply and demand. I believe that a certain level of gatekeeping is necessary within reason because it keeps the demand high because there is low supply. Okay. So, what I mean by that is, even in my area, there's a dental office on every corner, but there is a lack of dental hygienists because there's a lack of dental hygiene schools, and dental hygiene schools are very rigorous, very hard to get into, and they bottleneck it to where a lot of the schools, some schools around only take 12 students a year. Some take 24, some take 16, some take 32. So because there are so few that are able to get into these programs, that means that every year it's only a handful that are graduating. That gives you job stability, baby. So I love that it's hard to get into dental hygiene school, to be honest with you, because nowadays in this market, with everything getting so oversaturated so fast, baby, you have to be able to protect something. You know what I mean? The barrier of entry has to be high for something. Everything can't just be a breeze to get into. Now, with that being said, only 3% of dental hygienists are a minority. Only 3% look like you and me. And with that being said, we do have a lot of work to do with breaking down those barriers. But, if you would like, I can give you my ideas on how to ensure that we continue to get into these programs, because for me, I had to find a program that was fit for me in my circumstances, or fit for me in my background. I didn't come from a background that may have afforded me to have the most picture perfect look on an application. So I had to find programs that were designed for people like me that may have had some challenges along the way, and they would not um, discriminate on my application because it didn't, look like I was a Harvard student, So there are programs that exist out there for people like you and me, point blank, period. And I specialize in niching down and finding those programs. And baby, sacrifices will have to be made, because I definitely made my sacrifice. I was ready to move out of state. I was ready to do whatever it takes. Even right now, I'm making a lot of sacrifices that I honestly never thought I would have to make or be put in the position in. But when you have a vision, you have a goal, you got to take accountability for what is most important for you right now, and you can't be afraid to step out there and do it. Um so yeah, the benefit of it is that once you do graduate, meanwhile, I don't want to go too much into detail, but I haven't even graduated yet, and doctors reach out to me regarding doctors literally reach out to me regarding employment, and I haven't even graduated yet. I was going to pull up a text, but I literally just got a text yesterday from a doctor saying, hey, we're expanding. Will you graduate by a certain time? And I'm like, I'll graduate sooner than that. And they're like, oh, perfect, because I already got a spot for you. I have another doctor that I used to work for prior, and they're like, hey, listen, when you're ready, make sure that you call me because I want you. And the good thing about, putting out a good product when you go out there, you never know when you may have to cross those same roads. So when you're at a dental office, if you're working in the dental field, make sure that you are treating your patients with kindness and respect. Make sure that you are building a name and a brand for yourself. And I know that building a name and a brand for yourself, I know that term is so overused nowadays. But even if you don't have a social media platform or you're not making videos like this, remember that your name is a brand in real life. So for me, when I was out there in the dental field, I was aiming to make sure that I put out the best product because I needed my name to stand for something. If I chose to leave a practice, I would leave in that way saying, hey, my name and my integrity is everything. I'd rather bow out gracefully and find another environment that is more conducive with me providing the best care for the patient and the best service for the doctor and the team. So just always remember that it's a way to say things, a way to do things, and that will give you longevity and more job stability down the line. All right. So my next thing is going to be my fourth thing that's great about dental hygiene is going to be continuous learning. And I'll say dental hygiene, but also dentistry as a whole, because I know there will be dental assistants that are watching this video. I started off as a dental assistant, expanded functions. So my heart will always lie with dental assistants that are able to get into a dental hygiene program and move their way up. I think that it does benefit you. There is a lot of value that can come from being cross-trained. Um, we'll save that for another time. But continuous learning is something that I love about dentistry. Dentistry is always evolving. It's always changing. There's always new research, new technology. The technology in dentistry is top tier, baby. The things that I started with 8 years ago are definitely not the things that we're using now. And with where dentistry is going with the scanning and man, it's just the 3D printing, the digital, the aspects of it. Now the patient interface is changing to where things are digital. I absolutely love where dentistry is going, and that inspires me to stay inside of the environment of dentistry. I love the continuing education. There is always a course that you're able to take that is viable. It is not it's not over it, it's closely guarded because dentistry does carry a level of prestige. And with that, it does allow you to be able to get into some rooms that is genuinely upper echelon. And when I say upper echelon is a mindset, it's people that are from all walks of life that share a common interest, and a love for dentistry and a love for helping people and a love for understanding how dentistry affects the overall picture of life in general. And so yeah, there are always opportunities for you to be at the forefront, because now you're at the forefront in real time because you're a dental hygienist. So you have the opportunity to be in the front of preventative care and helping to save people on costs, time, pain, trauma. My fifth and final thing is going to be building relationships. It's last, but it's certainly not the least thing. Once again, it kind of piggybacks on the job stability and competitive salary. As I said, competitive salary and job stability, but I didn't really go into the competitive salary because I think you guys already know that you can make really good money in dental hygiene. But most importantly is the relationships that you're able to build with your patients. I have worked on patients that had phenomenal careers. I've worked on patients that lost phenomenal careers. I've worked on patients that retired from phenomenal careers, who never had a phenomenal career. I've worked with patients from all walks of life. And what I see when I see a patient is I see a human being just like you and me. I see somebody that like, to me, in my mind, there's a special thing that happens when someone sits down in a dental chair. Um, I have a funny saying: when you're in this chair and in this room, we're all the same. It doesn't matter your political affiliation, doesn't matter what you believe in, your religious beliefs. It doesn't matter. When you're in that dental chair, it's something that happens. It's almost like um, during the time when I think voting was going on, the election time. During election season, I was in the dental office and I remember I had a patient and she said something to me like she was about to start crying because she was like in a lot of pain or something. And we wound up getting her treatment started. We got her out of pain. She was a lot more comfortable. And she looked over at me and she's like, it is crazy that with everything I had going on, I'm sitting in this chair. I was just in pain. I'm no longer in pain. And I'm not thinking about all of the problems that I had before I walked into this door. And I laughed with her because I said, you know what? I have a saying: in this chair, in the world, the dental office is literally neutral territory. I genuinely feel like if we were at war, they would say, don't touch the dental office. Like, protect the dental office with at all costs, because it's genuinely a special place. The dental field is fast paced. You're talking about, in the medical field, if you're going to go and get a heart transplant, it's months planned out. It's so intricate that it requires a lot of time. In dentistry, you go from major extremes. You go from meeting a brand new person you've never met a day in your life to trying to get them to know them and build a relationship with them without seeming pushy, but still trying to get to the point of their problem, getting a financial picture of where they are and what you're able to do within that means, because you're dealing with insurance, while providing top tier care. And in that same situation where you're meeting somebody, now they've been in your office 40 minutes and then you realize that you're taking out a tooth or you're placing an implant or something of that nature. You're an hour and a half in, maybe your implant is placed. You know what I mean? You're trying to get a full scope of their medical, like a full medical picture of them. It's a lot happening in that room within the span of like an hour and 2 hours. The things that we are able to accomplish in dentistry in a 2 hour time frame, still to me is mind boggling. And we still manage to leave out of there with smiles because we know that we are helping the general public continue on. The funny thing is, like, sometimes with working with some patients that suffer from a lot of prior trauma, they're dealing with the anxiety and the trauma that they've had in the dental through their dental journey. and you meet with them and you talk with some of them, and some of them are literally coming off of work and they're petrified because they have to not only come off work and they may have to go back to work, but they're scared to come in here to get this treatment completed. And you're able to create an environment that makes even the scariest patient comfortable, and they get their treatment done and they go back out there in the world to do what needs to be done. You start to think about where you fit inside of that puzzle. You are a part of keeping life going for a lot of people. Um, there's no meaningful life without the ability to masticate, to chew. And when you realize that people's quality of life changes when their teeth are missing or gone, or they're not able to enjoy things, and you're able to give them a bit of that back, I'm telling you, you will sleep with such peace because you know that something that you've done that day has impacted the life of one or many. So, dentistry is it's a journey. It's a journey worth taking. It's a level of prestige that you will be proud to say that you carry. And it is a career that, in any facet of it, um, maybe in the future I can do a video on the different roles or careers that you can have inside of dentistry, because dental hygiene is great, but I do know that a lot of people won't make the cut to become a dental hygienist, whether it be because of finances, whether it be because of education, whether it be because they just don't want to do it and they like other aspects. There are so many great positions in dentistry, and I would love to share with you my experiences in dentistry, and maybe hopefully um, inspire you to get involved, inspire you to go for dental hygiene, because I think dental hygiene is the dream. It really, really is. Being able to be a part of patient treatment is huge, and it's why I love it, because you're actively involved and you actively get to do treatment. That's my favorite part, is the treatment. I am a clinician at heart. um, but on the other side of things, the only other place in dentistry where you can actively do treatment is as a doctor and as a dentist. And like I said, I'm being realistic. Everybody in the world won't become a dentist. Everybody in the world won't become a doctor. But there are special places inside of dentistry that will still allow you to still have that enjoyment, whether it be in billing, it be in laboratory, whatever the scope may be. Working in dentistry as a whole is amazing. Don't feel like you have to go all the way up to the top first. Get in the field, work in the positions, get an opportunity to find out who you are in dentistry, what you can provide to dentistry, and then literally work up from there. Um, and yeah, I'll leave it at that for this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. I am the Hygiene Diva, and I hope that you begin a phenomenal career in dental hygiene, or that you choose another option in dentistry as a whole. And hopefully these 5 tips are just what you needed to begin your journey. See you guys later.